Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Somehow it's September. Not only is it September, but we're already into the second week of September, and I don't know how it is we're here. This year has really just been like a runaway train getting away from me at an extremely concerning pace. That's actually not what we're here to discuss today. What we're here to discuss today is the building of another media menu. So I have with me today 3 trusty prompt jars that are basically going to help me build a little menu of media that I'm going to be attempting to get through in the month of September. And I'm really gonna try to get through it this month, because the whole point of me putting together these media menus, mind you, this is only my second one, but the whole point of me putting together this concept was to be more conscious in my media consumption and to prioritize media not only that I'm excited about, but that hopefully challenges me in some way, enriches me in some way, and most importantly, steers me away from just mindless consumption online, because the doom scrolling has really taken over my life, and it seems like I'm making little to no progress in terms of prioritizing reading, watching movies and TV shows that I'm excited about. I'm just giving into the social media addiction of it all, so we're working on that. And I'm gonna prioritize getting to every single item on my September media menu. So just in case you missed the August media menu video, basically what I did last month was a little appetizers prompt jar, which basically just has actual pieces of media. This isn't a prompt jar. This has small bite-sized pieces of media, whether it's a podcast, a video essay, a short story, a novella length novella. Basically something that I can sit down and get through in a very specific amount of time, probably just one sitting. I don't have very many slips in here, as you can see, so if you have recommendations for this, please let me know. There's only a few new additions in here. I think I got like 1 or 2 comments, and then Lottie recommended me a video essay, so those are the only new additions to this one. Let me know if you have any to add. We have 2 categories for the mains or entree sections of the menu. We have books with the TBR jar, as always. Then we have visual media, which is like movies and TV shows. Last month I had 2 movies and 1 TV show, which I didn't finish the TV show before the free trial of that subscription service expired. So. And then I actually did get a suggestion on my video last month suggesting a little dessert section, and they weren't exactly sure what direction to take it. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do too much thinking about it beyond their comment either. So for this month, I'm just gonna do a bit of like a wild card or free pick situation depending on how all of the prompts play out. So if I've had too much free reign, I'll probably do a like wild card situation where some kind of generator will pick something for me. But if I haven't had very much free reign and I've been backed into a few corners, I'll probably do a free pick and pick something that I wanted to get to this month but wasn't able to put on the menu. So anyways, that is the overview. We're putting together a media menu. It's gonna be a curated list of media I'm excited about, and I'm gonna get through it this month because the August media menu, she was not completed. August was a very sparse media consumption month in general. So, okay, I'm already losing the daylight in here, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's do that now. I feel like I was just talking on fast forward, but it's because I was racing the light. That's how you know. That's how you know we're approaching the fall equinox, is we get back to our roots of me racing the daylight. Okay, item number 1 on our September media menu. Okay, that's actually, crazy. This is the 2nd month in a row, so the 2nd month that I've done this at all, that I've pulled the 1 item from this jar that I've actually talked about before pulling it. I pulled the video essay that Lottie recommended me. So the 1 item that I actually mentioned specifically, last month it was The Little Prince, and that was the thing that I pulled. So a couple weeks ago, or last week or 2 weeks ago, Lottie and I were talking about influencer culture, and she recommended this video essay, which honestly I meant to have already watched. But when I realized I hadn't watched it, I was like, wait, this is actually the perfect thing to add to my prompt jar. It's this video essay by Tiffany Ferguson. It's called The Lifestyle Influencer Paradox, parentheses, quote, so busy, ... running errands. It's an internet analysis, and she posted it in 2024. And basically it's just about the lifestyle creator paradox, where obviously like lifestyle creators create careers out of their lifestyles, and then their jobs are their lives. And then they slowly inch towards losing their relatability through that. I don't know, it's very interesting. I feel like we've watched it happen to a lot of people recently, and it's become quite a large conversation, specifically in recent years. I feel like with the way TikTok allows people to launch into like the stratosphere of success and popularity so quickly, it's just really interesting. So I'm gonna be watching this. Honestly, I will probably watch it like in the morning one day this week, so that's an easy one to check off the list. Thank you, Lottie, for recommending it. I'm honestly surprised I haven't already gotten to it. So media menu item number 1, that was really easy. So we're retiring her. Oh, I just realized my water bottle was just sitting up there. That's really ugly. Okay, it's time for the books. I genuinely almost didn't even read 4 books last month. It was gonna be 3, and then I tacked on The Little Prince like literally close to midnight on August 31st. So I'm really hoping I can just get back into the swing of reading in September. I'm currently reading Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which was on my August media menu, and I was really hoping to get to that last month because I do feel really excited about it, and it is a summer read, so I wanted to get to that in the more summer months. But August, I don't know what it is. It happens to me every year. August just doesn't really feel like a month that's conducive to reading. September, however, September does. So September is really fun because it feels like half summer, half fall. So I'm excited to kind of wrap up the summer reading. I'm gonna get through Atmosphere and then maybe try and tack on like a couple more summer reads depending on how much in the reading mood I can get myself over these next couple days. And then I'm really excited to switch over to the fall reading. Like I'm already kind of feeling that fall reading energy. There's like a bit of a chill in the air, or maybe it's just like in my mood. Like I'm already kind of getting there. So I have a feeling we'll be pulling some fall books. I'm feeling like it's in the cards. If nothing else, we'll probably also be pulling a fall movie. Okay, like we had football on the TV yesterday. I baked brownies. It was still scorching hot outside. Okay, scorching hot. I live in LA. It was not scorching hot, but it was hot, and we were cosplaying like it was fall. So last month I did 4 books and 3 pieces of visual media, so I think I'm gonna stick to that, even though it is already September 8th and I have not finished a book yet. So a little ambitious to do 4 books for 3 weeks of the month when I haven't finished anything yet, but I don't know, should I do 3 and 3? No, I'm gonna do 4. I'm gonna do 4 and 3 because I'm banking on myself, okay? I'm banking on myself. Okay, prompt number 1, young adult. I'm gonna be honest, I think the only young adult books I have are all like fantasy or fantasy adjacent, which feels incredibly fall. So let's assess. I do also think I need to be making a pretty significant effort to read from my 25 and 2025 list, even though my main priority is usually reading from my physical TBR, but I do actually think there are a couple young adult books on my 25 and 2025 list that I don't own physically. So I'm gonna pull that up, and I'm also gonna see what I have over here. So, okay, well I have, first of all, Ready Player One, which I believe is young adult sci-fi, and then Now Conjurers, which is like a young adult queer horror indie published that I found at a little free library last October. This is an ARC copy. This only has like 1,000 reviews, I think, on Goodreads, so I really do want to read that, hopefully this fall, and if it's good, I would love to tell you guys about it. I believe Dance of Thieves is young adult. Scythe is young adult dystopia. Belladonna is like a young adult gothic. Is this romantasy? Okay, yeah. It's like a mystery, fantasy, romance, gothic, young adult situation. I do have the entire Caraval trilogy, which I've never ventured near, and I probably should at some point, considering I have the entire trilogy. And I think that's it for young adult I have physically. So like I said, pretty much all fantasy and sci-fi, which does make sense. That's what I tend to lean towards. If I'm gonna go young adult, I'm gonna do fantasy or sci-fi. But let me look and see what I have on my 25 and 2025 list that I don't own physically, because I do think, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure The Lovely War is considered young adult. Yes. Okay. I think I might do The Lovely War. Oh, and Legendborn. Both of which I feel like, since I have on my 25 and 2025 list, and I do need to focus on getting through that if at all possible, are very strong contenders to this. So, oh, and I think The Book Thief is also considered young adult. It is. Okay, so I do have 3 young adult books on my 25 and 2025 list, and The Book Thief I actually do physically own. Where is it? Oh my gosh, it's not even in my 25 and 2025 category. I feel like I remember somebody saying this was incorrectly categorized as young adult just because it had like a young main character. Okay, well I do own this physically, so maybe I should do this. The Book Thief is about like a young girl during World War II who finds a book that kind of like opens up her world, and then her foster family, I think, then hides a Jewish person in her basement. So, oh, at the bottom of this description it literally says, note the title was not published as YA fiction. So I actually fear that takes us out of the running, so we're not gonna do that. I knew I remembered somebody saying that. It was the description. So we're actually going to do Legendborn or Lovely War. So Lovely War, whoops. I did not mean to do that. I somehow just, that was so weird. I accidentally just marked it as read and gave it 5 stars, and then I had to remove it. And okay, anyways, moving on. The Lovely War is categorized as historical fiction, romance, and young adult, and then also mythology. It's about 4 people in 1917 when World War I is at its zenith. All of their paths cross, and then the war kind of like pulls them in different directions. Then I think 30 years later, we're kind of seeing where the story has ended up, but the story is being told from the perspective of the Greek gods. Like Aphrodite is telling the story to her husband and her lover, so to Hephaestus and Ares. So super, super interesting concept, kind of like a crossover of historical fiction and Greek mythology. I'm just like super curious to see how it's done and see if I like the execution. So there's that. And then there is Legendborn, which I have heard nothing but incredible things about Legendborn. This is a young adult fantasy dark academia situation that is often compared to Ninth House, which is an adult fantasy dark academia situation that I read last year and really, really liked. This is supposedly like the young adult version of this, and honestly, it's more universally loved than Ninth House. Like Ninth House is pretty divisive, I would say. People love this book. So I'm tempted because I feel like this is perfect for like fall reading. But honestly, I feel like both of these books would be great fall reads. I'm wondering, let me see which one has a higher rating on your audiobook, because I do feel like there's a good chance I will be wanting to do a lot of audiobooks this month. Okay, Legendborn has a higher rating on the audiobook, so you know what? I think I'm gonna go Lovely War just because I love Greek mythology, and I think if I don't put Lovely War on a monthly TBR soon, I don't see myself just like reaching for it of my own volition. I could see myself just reaching for Legendborn. Lovely War, I don't think I'm gonna feel compelled to reach for it at any point. So I think we're gonna go Lovely War. So that's book number 1. Pretend I'm putting a book over here. So anyways, okay. Prompt number 2. Place in the title. Okay, we have In the Dream House, which I did not get to. The Dream House is a place, I feel like. Oh, Crying in H Mart. H Mart is a place. We have, okay, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. Heaven, that's a place. I had forgotten that I had this book. My high school friends gave me this book as a gift for our 19th birthdays, and she wrote like a sweet little inscription in it. I'd completely forgotten that I had it, but I've been seeing so many people talk about Mitch's album lately. Supposedly this, and like I think it's like Tuesdays with Maury, and there's another one of his. It's not necessarily considered like religious or Christian fiction or anything like that specifically. It's more of like a overall think piece about like the meaning of life, afterlife, etc. So like I'm intrigued now, and I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Tuesdays with Maury, so intrigued about that. So we have The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. Oh, 2 Nights in Lisbon. Lisbon is a place. And I think that might be it. Maybe Station 11 as well, but I'm not sure. Okay, the thing is, I think of these, I already know which one I'm most drawn to is the thing. And I think, unfortunately, I feel like it's kind of like an obvious. I don't want to pick something that I just had on the August media menu and didn't get to. 2 Nights in Lisbon, I'm just not feeling particularly drawn to. It's like an identity, like crime thriller situation, and then I just rediscovered this one, so it feels like, even though I've had this since I was 19, clearly, which that, oh my god, actually that was just like really unsettling, saying that out loud and then realizing that I've had this for 7 years. So that was actually so crazy. I actually could have really gone without. The point of me saying that was it just coming back on my radar. It's not like a super high priority. Like I've been more excited about the other ones more recently, so I think I'm gonna go Crying in H Mart. I'm pretty sure, first of all, that Michelle Zauner, the indie rock musician known as Japanese Breakfast, actually narrates this. Yeah, narrated by the author. So that's really exciting. Like I said, I have a feeling I will be reaching for a couple more audiobooks than usual this month, just because I'm trying to get back in the swing of reading, and I tend to be in the car a lot, and I haven't been reaching for audiobooks as often as I would like to be, and I'm trying to change that. Like I'm really just trying to be consuming enriching media more often. So audiobooks and podcasts more often is the goal. It seems like a perfect option for that. I also just heard nothing but incredible things about this. So if you're unfamiliar, I would hope you're not, but this is a memoir by Michelle Zauner. She is a musician as well as an author, and essentially I believe that this is about her relationship with her mother. It's about how she put her life on hold and flew home to Eugene, Oregon to be with her mother through her final excruciating months of her battle with cancer. It's a candid coming of age story of growing apart from and then back together with her Korean identity, and of forging her own path in the wake of a devastating loss. With humor and heart, she tells the story of growing up Asian American, straining to meet her mother's expectations, moving across the country, and returning home to reckon with grief. And through it all, she savors the unexpected solace of weekly trips to her favorite Asian grocery store. I have a feeling I will really, really love this. Powerful story of family, food, grief, and love. I'll be crying, probably. So that's gonna be book number 2. I'm really excited. All right, we're gonna go prompt number 3. 3. Stars on the cover. Okay. Okay. We have 1. Okay, 2. 3. Okay, this is quite a stack actually. For a book with stars on the cover, we have Two Nights in Lisbon, just has 1 on the spine right here. So Two Nights in Lisbon. Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare has stars in the city. I don't know if you can see that. So there's that. The Book of Night by Holly Black in the middle. Caraval kind of has them everywhere. The Night Circus, which I pulled hers to say, but again, this was just on last month's media menu. I'm probably not gonna put her on the 2nd month in a row. Apple, like, I don't know if you can see this. It has specks in the sky. There's that. And then same thing for Station 11, constellations in the sky. So far we have a young adult, like, historical fiction romance mythology situation, and then we have a memoir. So in terms of diversity of books, these are mostly fantasy, except for Station 11 is like a adult dystopian situation, so like literary fiction dystopian situation, I guess. I don't know if I have Babel in me this month, to be honest. Like, I feel like that might be more of like a fall wintertime situation. And Book of Night feels more October, like more spooky season. Caraval, I don't think I want to do a second young adult. So basically Swordcatcher, Babel, or Station 11. I did say that my 25 in 2025 list was like my main priority, and 2 of these are on my 25 in 2025 list. But actually, even more importantly than that, this is actually technically on my summer reading list. So I might have to do that because I don't technically have a summer read yet. I don't know. Oh, I can do that. I think I would rather do Station 11 than Babel. I think we're gonna table Swordcatcher because I do think if I'm gonna have any chance of getting through my 25 in 2025, I do have to put several of them on each monthly TBR. So it's between these 2, and September is the end of the summer. So if this is on my summer reading list, even though I don't think this is like technically a summertime only read, like that was just me saying I wanted to get to it in the summer, I'm gonna do Station 11. I'm gonna do Station 11. If you're unfamiliar with Station 11, this is a, like I said, literary fiction dystopian situation that basically about a group of traveling performers that live together post-apocalyptic pandemic event situation. And basically where the story takes off, they arrive at this one specific place. They encounter a violent prophet who will threaten the tiny band's existence. As the story takes off, moving back and forth in time and vividly depicting life before and after the pandemic, the strange twist of fate that connects them all will be revealed. I have high hopes for this. Couldn't explain why. I haven't been able to explain why, but like I feel like it's gonna be something that fundamentally changes my brain chemistry, and I could be wrong. So that's gonna be book number 3. And now prompt number 4. Orange cover. Milkfed by Melissa Broder. Ready Player One has an orange spine, so I feel like that doesn't like 100% count. Same thing. Brooklyn has an orange spine, not really an orange cover. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. The only thing about this is like I feel like these 2, they're nowhere near the same thing, right? But I feel like they're both like kind of categorically like heavier reads. Milkfed to me feels like weird girl fiction, like that's where it would land in my brain. Obviously I don't really have a weird girl fiction on the TBR at this moment. I don't know that I'm in the mood for this right now. I don't know about this one at the moment. So I feel like, again, I feel like there's just a chance that I could be really deeply moved by this. It's just like I'm stacking like 3 probably very deeply emotionally affecting books on the TBR. Like, where's the fun, where's the flirty? Okay, I'm gonna do it. And then maybe I'll use my wild card, my dessert on the menu to pick something fun and flirty in summer to close this out. I don't even really have anything distinctly fall. We're gonna have to do like a fall movie or something. That's where we're going with this. Okay, anyways, if you're unfamiliar with The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, this is basically about a family that is taken off the grid by the father figure, I believe, in Alaska, 1974. Yes. Ernst Albright, a former prisoner of war, comes home from the Vietnam War a changed and volatile man. When he loses yet another job, he makes an impulsive decision. He will move his family north to Alaska, where they will live off the grid in America's last true frontier. He has a 13-year-old daughter, coming of age in the midst of her parents' tumultuous relationship, moved to a very remote corner of the state, and as winter approaches and darkness descends on Alaska, his fragile mental state deteriorates, and Lenny and her mother realize they are very alone. So apparently it is an incredibly moving story. I've been very curious about it since the first time I heard somebody talk about it. I am very, very, very curious. We will see. I mean, if I'm getting all the way through my September TBR like I say that I am, this is gonna be my first Kristen Hannah. So exciting stuff happening over here. That is it, in theory. That is it for the books. Moving on to the visual media. And yes, I did go ahead and renew my Letterboxd subscription so we wouldn't have to deal with the ads this time. Everyone say thank you. Prompt number 1. Okay. Started but never finished. I literally have a list for this. So, the list is quite short. The explanations for literally all 4 of these on a plane. I started them on a plane. I'm pretty sure at the time when I watched all of these, they weren't available anywhere else. But my options are, at least that I could think of off the top of my head when I made this list a couple days ago, actually, like literally I think it was like last week that I made this list. We have Perfect Days, directed by Wim Wenders. I was really enjoying this when I was watching it. I think I only got like 40 minutes into this, so I still have quite a bit left of this. This is a Japanese film, which I would have been further into it, but I could not figure out how to turn the English subtitles on, so it took me a long time to actually start the movie. So then The Big Short, I think I was also 45 minutes into this one. I honestly was also really enjoying this. The cast of this one, there's so many people in this. There's a lot of people in this. I was having a really good time. I know this is very much like a film bro movie. That sometimes my taste does skew film bro. Sometimes I have a good time with film bro movies. So I would very much like to finish this one as well. This is about the housing market crash of 2008, if you're unfamiliar. Kings of Summer is about this little trio of boys running away from home into the woods near their house and building a house of their own. Really cute. I only had 20 minutes left when my plane landed. So I really should just actually finish this. It's actually ridiculous. And then The Skeleton Twins, I actually wasn't loving this, which is why I never finished this. It was a while ago. It was fine. I think just maybe the overall tone of it wasn't my favorite. It's a little bit offbeat, kind of family drama. I love Bill Hader and I love Kristen Wiig, but I think just the overall pacing and tone of it wasn't my favorite. So I didn't feel oh my god, I have to finish this and see what happens. I have to know how it ends. It was just fine. So I never felt compelled to finish it. But I did put it on here because that's crazy. So those are the 4 movies that I could think of that I started on planes and then just never finished. I think I also have a list of TV shows I never finished. I never finished Atypical. I never finished Blacklist. I never finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I only didn't watch the last season. I never finished Buffy, Good Girls, Hannibal, Dope Sick, Peaky Blinders, Veronica Mars. Oh my god, I didn't finish The Studio or My Lady Jane. Those are actually both really good ones. Okay, so my options are those 4 movies, The Studio, or My Lady Jane, because those are both very digestible size options and they were both very recent. So I remember what was going on in those shows. So The Studio, Apple TV show, only 1 season out. I think I was 4 episodes in when I stopped. My Lady Jane, cute little romantic-y TV show, canceled after 1 season. Really tragic. She is going to be the romantic lead in People We Meet on Vacation. Loved her in this. He is the brother in Sex Education. Love him as well. Really sad it got canceled. I really liked this show. It was really cute, really quirky. I think I'm gonna finish this. I think I'm gonna finish My Lady Jane. That's gonna be the first thing because this actually just reminded me that I hadn't finished it. It really makes me sad that it got canceled. I know people were really campaigning for it to get picked up somewhere, and I really wish that it had because it was so unique and fresh and fun, and I love when things that are just so outlandish like this get made in the first place, and the cast was so good. I don't know, it was just really fun, and I'm just glad it got made in the first place. So I'm gonna finish this because I want to support them. I love this cast and I want to finish it. So that's gonna be visual media item number 1. So basically the premise specifically, just beyond it being a romantasy, so I don't butcher it, I'm just gonna read this to you because I don't want to spoil anything that's not given away from the show. It says, love, treason, death. Gird your loins for the tragic tale of Lady Jane Grey, the young Tudor noblewoman, was Queen of England for 9 days and then beheaded back in the good old 1553. Actually, fuck that. We're retelling history the way it should have happened. The damsel in distress saves herself. This is an epic tale of true love and high adventure set in an alt universe of action, history, fantasy, comedy, romance, and rompy-pompy. Buckle up. It's literally so ridiculous, so ridiculous, but it was funny and fun. And actually Brielle and I, when we went on our writing retreat last fall, we watched I think the first 2 episodes 2 nights before we went to bed, and that's how we started it. And we were really confused actually by the premise, like that they set up in the first 2 episodes. I continued to watch it when I went home, so I'm gonna be finishing that. So that's gonna be item number 1. Prompt number 2. Heavily nominated. I found a list of the most Oscar nominated movies ever. Wait, there's only okay, I don't want to watch any of these. There we go. Top 100 Best Picture nominees with the most fans. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know if it counts as heavily nominated. I've already seen literally so many of these. If you're unfamiliar with Letterboxd, the ones that are darker are the ones I've already seen. So, unfortunately, I have seen a lot of these. I did really want to see Top Gun Maverick when it was popular because I watched Top Gun for the first time a couple years ago with my parents. I was also super curious about 1917. I do love a good war movie and every now and then. Again, my taste does occasionally skew film bro. Ooh, and Anatomy of a Fall actually, which I do know was actually heavily nominated. My roommate actually loves like following things through award season and he likes to bet on the Oscars. So I know a lot about Oscar season now that I live with him. Like now that, like ever since I moved out here, I know more about the Oscars and like the nominated films and stuff. Anything before 2021, not so much. So like the thing is like none of this is like jumping out at me. And no, I have not seen Titanic. Okay, so I don't want to talk about it. I just think I want something that's like a little bit fun. I think that's like the kind of mood I'm in for this pick. Like I think that's what I want. So like I'm thinking Top Gun Maverick. I think that's my only option out of like what I have available to me that I haven't already seen. It's Top Gun Maverick. Because I would love to watch Moonlight. I've never seen that, but I think that is a heavier watch and I just think I would rather do something more lighthearted for this pick specifically. So I think I'm gonna go Top Gun Maverick. Like I think out of all of the options I have available to me based on this list and what I have not seen, I think I'm gonna go Top Gun Maverick. Like I said, it is the sequel to Top Gun, which I think came out in 1986. When my parents heard that they were going to be making a sequel, we watched the original. I think I watched it, oh, maybe it was before they even said there was gonna be a sequel. I did in May of 2020. I only gave it 3 stars. I was not like super impressed. However, obviously the craze about this sequel, like people had a grand old time and seemed to, I do really wish I'd made it to the theaters to watch it because I think I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more. Like I don't know that I'm gonna be like having a blast watching it by myself. Maybe I'll get like my roommates to watch it with me or something, although I don't think either of them have seen the OG, so we'll see how that goes. But been in the Navy for 30 years, going on a specialized mission. Miles Teller, John Hamm, Lewis Pullman. Wait, isn't Glenn Powell? I was looking for Glenn Powell's name. I was a little confused. So Manny Jacinto, but I think a lot of his scenes got cut if I remember correctly, and he was sad. So that's unfortunate because I love Manny Jacinto. So that's gonna be pick number 2. That took an excessively long time. I just, some of these are like hard to figure out. Anyways, that's prompt number 2. Neither of the things I picked so far are giving summer or fall. I was hoping to go for a half summer, half fall media menu. Vibes are not being properly curated, I guess, but that's okay. Okay, prompt number 3. Starring someone I love. Okay, I'm just gonna go to my watch list, I guess. Let's see. I guess I'll just like scroll. Away We Go has Maya Rudolph. I love her. You know what? Actually, let me go to my, I have like these specific lists that I love. I referenced one of them last time, so let me go. I'm gonna pull up my list that I love for when you want to feel something. That's just like a staple. Which, okay, Pride was actually recommended by somebody in the comments of my last video, and I love Andrew Scott, so that's definitely an option. I also love Bill Nye. He's the dad in About Time. So we have Pride. I'm gonna sort my watch list by, you can sort your watch list based on films you liked. That's interesting. My roommate and I were just watching the other 2 with Molly Shannon, and so I love her now. Oh my god, and Bradley Whitford is in this. So Other People is a great option, but once again, that feels like a very heavy option, but it's not a terrible idea. I have that, but I do still kind of want something that is more fitting maybe for like a seasonal watch. Kill Your Darlings has Daniel Radcliffe, which obviously love Daniel Radcliffe, love him. And Kill Your Darlings is like a dark academia murder mystery. I don't know if it's a murder mystery situation. What is the genre? Thriller. Dark academia thriller. I started this once. I only got like 5 or 10 minutes in and I liked the vibes, but I didn't actually get far enough in to have an actual opinion on the movie. And I know like overall people are not obsessed with it, but people used to gif the hell out of this on Tumblr. So I feel like it would be very fitting for like end of September going into October. So it's like, do I want to put something emotional and moving with Other People with Molly Shannon? It's about a son that moves home, I believe, to take care of his mother with cancer. Or do I want to do Kill Your Darlings? Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like other people might tonally do the same thing to me that crying in H Mart is gonna do to me. So I don't think I need to do that to myself twice over. So I think I'm gonna go Kill Your Darlings. That feels good. Little logline, little tagline on here says, a true story of obsession and murder. A murder in 1944 draws together the great poets of the Beat Generation, Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, and William Burroughs. Oh, so it's kind of like a historical fiction. Like, we got some real names in here. 2013, directed by John Krokidas. 103 minutes, not long at all. I'm very curious. Might be one of those like, we're just here for the vibes type situations, but that might be okay. So that's gonna be visual media number 3. I think that's gonna bring us to our dessert item, which, given that I did not pick anything that was like particularly summery, I feel like, actually, you know what? Top Gun Maverick, I feel like was like a very summer blockbuster. So I feel like that could fill that little option. However, I don't have anything that's really like a pure rom-com romance vibe. I have Romantasy with My Lady Jane and like a romantasy adjacent situation with Lovely War, but I think I kind of want to either do a wild card. Like, I'm thinking I might do like the fable generator thing where I just let it pick something from my want to read list, or I just pick a little rom-com to throw on there from maybe my 25 and 2025 list, because I know that there's a summer rom-com on that list that I did not get to. So I could just read it of my own volition, or I could throw it on the list and feel accomplished when I check it off. I think I'm just gonna pick. I'm feeling crazy, especially because I don't own it. The thing is, it's on my 25 and 2025 list, so I'm gonna have to read it at a certain point. It's gonna go ahead and be Mrs. Nash's Ashes by Sarah Adler, which is a summer rom-com road trip forced proximity situation. I read Happy Medium by Sarah Adler last year. Really enjoyed it, had a grand old time. From what I gather, she is not everyone's cup of tea, but I personally had a lot of fun. And I only read like 1 or 2 true like summer rom-coms this year. Would like to tack another one on. So I think I'm gonna do that before fall really kicks in. So I'm gonna read Atmosphere first because I did already start that one, and then I will probably throw her onto the list before we really just like move on. So it's gonna go ahead and be that. And with that, we do have a complete media menu. So I'm gonna run back through everything we picked, and then we're gonna call it a day. So in the month of September, for our media menu, we have, as the appetizer, The Lifestyle Influencer Paradox, quote, So Busy, Running Errands by Tiffany Ferguson, a video essay. For the main courses, first of all, the books. For young adult, we have Lovely War by Julie Berry. For place in the title, we have Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. For stars on the cover, we have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mendel. And for orange cover, we have Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. And for the visual media category, we have the TV show My Lady Jane for Started But Never Finished, Top Gun Maverick for Heavily Nominated, and the 2013 film Kill Your Darlings starring Daniel Radcliffe for Starring Someone I Love. And finally, for the little desserts category, we had a free pick, considering I was trying to curate the vibes a little bit. For one last little summer fling, I threw Mrs. Nash's Ashes by Sarah Adler on there. So that's gonna go ahead and be the September media menu. Like I said, I will be getting to every single one of the items on this list. If I don't, that's literally humiliating for me. Like, what are you gonna do at the end of the day? Sometimes life gets in the way. However, I'm gonna be making my best efforts to cover every single one of these bases. I'm really excited about every single one of these. Like, I'm feeling really hopeful and optimistic about getting to every single one of these. So I'm feeling good. We shall see how I do in terms of prioritizing, but I'm feeling good, even though it is the 8th. Anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you felt so inspired and you've made your own media menu in any way, shape, or form, please let me know. I would love to hear about it and I would love to see it. And also, if you have any recommendations for the little appetizers jar, please let me know. I know a couple of you guys gave me recommendations. Oh my gosh, I just realized that Pride completely left my mind as an option for the Starring Someone I Love category. Anyways, I know that somebody recommended that to me. I remembered for a second and it left my mind. Just know I took note of it. I remembered, I looked it up when you recommended it, and I was like, I would love that. So I take your recommendations into account when you guys recommend me things. So please send them my way if you have any recommendations. I would love to look into them. I really appreciate it. Okay, anyways, that's all. You guys, love you guys. See you in the next one. Bye.